future?
No.
You ever going to be?
No.
Hello, everybody. Back again with another interview from the East Coast Music Awards. This time with, well, I was going to go into some descriptor of who Willie Stratton is, but we kind of talk about the genre-defying blending and blurring of his style in this interview. So he's a fantastic musician out of Nova Scotia. That much is certainly clear. When it comes to genre, though, things aren't as apparent. There's elements of country, Americana, blues, rockabilly, surf music, like rock and roll. All these super great genres being fused together, especially on one of my favorite records of the year last year, Drugstore Dreamin', which is an incredible record. So Willie and I sit down in the Harbourfront Marriott in Halifax, Nova Scotia. We talk about playing at the Seahorse, showcasing on ECMA week, and well, we talk about the ECMAs as well, and Nova Scotia Music Week. And as I mentioned, the genre debacle, or I guess the genre paradox, or some insert clever name for genre discussion here. But we also talk about leaving Halifax and moving to Cape Breton and why Willie did that and the benefits of it, and how it may not be as bad a thing as you may think at home. I know it's not. Then again, I've never lived in Halifax. I've only just lived in Cape Breton and I guess Antigonish and surrounding areas. But that's beside the point. That's not what I'm not here to talk about me. I'm here to talk about Willie Stratton. And Willie and I also chat about being a barber and the weird, super interesting, cool dynamics that come from that. And we get real sociological about it. We talk about playing in Europe and playing in the USA with Crash Test Dummies, which Willie will be doing later this year, which is super, super cool. We talk about a lot of different stuff, and music, and ECMAs, and award nominations, and all that fun stuff, and that's about it. So I don't want to hold you all here against your will and ramble on like some kind of rambler, like I have been so far. So I guess without further ado, let me throw it over to my chat live from the... I did it again. You'll hear in like 5 seconds I say live, but it's not live. Live to tape from the Marriott in Halifax. Willie Stratton.
ECMAs 2023. Landon Morris reporting live on location once again. Not live. This is taped, but I'm live. Yeah, live to tape right here at the Harbourfront Marriott in Halifax, Nova Scotia, with the incredibly talented Willie Stratton.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
I definitely haven't asked you this in the past 60 seconds, but how was your showcase last night? You played the Seahorse, super late set.
Yes, it was late, and it was loud, and it was sweaty and packed, and it was a lot of fun. It was refreshing. It was the first show like that since the pandemic, I would say. It was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I remember seeing you, so I've seen you twice now, Floatcella and Music Week.
Yeah.
Both of which I think were really great atmospheres, but last night just seemed like a whole different beast, you know?
It was, yeah. It felt that way. I think, like this band, we've kind of only been playing in this particular setup for like about a year together. So I don't know, like it's always felt good, but I find with the band, the more you play together and things work, the better it gets. So it's just a few people kind of said just how, well, just talking to the band, everybody felt it was very comfy, and I think that's just part of gelling together. But yeah, it felt really good.
Nice.
and fun. I mean, honestly, I would say like at least 50% of that too is just the room. Like the room was a lot of fun last night. Like everybody, the energy in the crowd. I mean, you can't have one without the other, I think. You can't have an energetic crowd with lame music, and you can't have energetic music with a lame crowd, I guess, you know. So it really felt like it came together nicely.
Yeah, they kind of feed off each other. And
yeah,
stuff,
exactly.
You know? Yeah, and so is this your first ECMAs?
No, I've done ECMAs a few times.
Nice.
We did last year in Fredericton. I don't know about before that. I guess before that was a pandemic, so yeah. But a few times. So yeah, I like coming to the ECMAs. I mean, it's a good conference because like something like Nova Scotia Music Week feels very much like a family reunion, you know a lot of the people, which is good. But I find with ECMAs, it's just being a slightly bigger scope, but also regional. It's like, you know a lot of people who are here, but there's also a lot to discover, which is great, which is my favorite part about it. Just going to random showcases and, there were people last night at our showcase who I hadn't seen before, and that was fun to watch. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Cool. And so you were nominated for an ECMA this year for Country Album of the Year.
Yeah.
That caught me off guard. Country album.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of funny. I don't know. It's like, I guess we're Americana, but I mean, genre is something I've always liked to hop around, and some people have even kind of criticized me for it before, but I don't really care. Like I mean, I was kind of like a little bit surprised as well, but like definitely happy about it. Like I like, there's songs on this album that have played on country radio in Halifax and elsewhere, so it's like it's cool, And I mean, I'm happy to. I find my goal is always to swim in between the lines of what's country, what's rock and roll, what's rockabilly, and surf rock. You know what I mean? It's like I love all those genres so much, but I never want to go fully hardcore into any of them.
Sure.
Because they are all genres. I mean, rock and roll can be anything, but something like rockabilly, it's almost like there's rules to it. And country, in a way, I mean, these days not so much, but like there kind of is, a framework. But I like being able to sort of be country enough to like play Cavendish, but be alternative enough to play, some of the other festivals we get to play. And so that's kind of, I'm always happy. I don't know. I'm happy to see what other categories I can sneak into,
Sweet, yeah. But I did notice that about you. It seems like genre isn't really a concern, but it also seems to be in a way. You know what I mean? Like it's like you kind of consciously choose to meld so many things together. Or
for sure.
Is it conscious?
I think so. Like, because I'm not one of these people who's like I find these days there's some people seem to say like genre is a construct and it doesn't matter and like it's not real and stuff. And I think that like to some degree like it is, but I think also it's like I like learning the rules of different genres. And like some genres have more rules than others. Like something like bluegrass, it's almost not even a genre. It's more of like a language. It's like it has, you're improvising in it. So in that way, it doesn't have rules. And, I'm not like an expert bluegrass player, but I like learning about bluegrass and playing bluegrass. But like, there's rules. There's things that are bluegrass and aren't bluegrass. And I like that. And then it's like, same with surf rock. Like people are so weird about surf music. It's like, you got to have this amp, you got to have this reverb unit, you got to, but I like that because it's like, that's what keeps that sound going. And it's like a niche genre that's always been niche, but there's a very dedicated amount of people who love it. Same with rockabilly, so it's like, but I like learning those things. And then it's like, you can take that and then kind of take what you like from it and put it into your own thing, like a collage, That's always been my, like that excites me more than, like I have gone down and tried to make very specific genre-oriented albums before. And like, I'm happy with those, but once it was done, I was like, I don't really want to do that again. You know, like these days, I want to take bits I like from each thing and meld it all together. And I mean, that was the goal with Drugstore Dreamin' album.
It's an incredible record, by the way, if I do say so.
Thank you very much, man.
So I also want to ask you about your new hometown.
Yeah.
We both share one.
Yes.
As of, I don't know, sometime soon.
Yeah. We have like a moving in date. we own the house now, but
yeah, what's that going to mean? I mean, you'll be kind of based out of Cape Breton now.
Yeah.
Does that kind of open any new, I don't want to say new venues, but does it kind of make you approach things differently, being in such, a radically different location?
I don't think so. Like, I think it's just, I'm kind of, like, I'll go out to these things, like conferences and stuff, but I'm not going out every weekend, like I keep to myself a lot. And, I think I'll probably just get more writing done. And like, my producer and collaborator, Carlton, he's,
Carlton Stone.
Much closer. Yeah. Yeah. Like he lives up there. So it's like, it's there. And like everybody I know in Port Hawkesbury is a musician pretty well. So like, it definitely doesn't feel like I'm walking away from music. It feels like I'm closer to a lot of musicians, honestly. And like, I don't know. I find, like a few years ago, I was playing regularly at a few bars in Halifax and stuff. And like, if I was still doing that, I might feel tied to the city, but I'm not anymore. And I just find the city is changing a lot these days, which I think is good. There's good development stuff happening, but I also just feel like it's my time to kind of step away. And, it's like in my downtime, all I want to do is like build boats and like do leather stuff and make music, So it's like having space to do that stuff is more relaxing to me anyway. It's just a little too much hustle and bustle here.
Yeah, I totally see where you're coming from with that.
Yeah.
And you mentioned leather. I want to ask you, or at least mention your impeccable style.
Oh, thank you.
The denim, the leather, and perfect.
Thanks, man.
Maybe the most perfect. I don't know what hairstyle that is, but it's
like a pompadour, I guess.
Yeah, the most perfect pompadour
like
in the Harbourfront Marriott right
Thank
now. Yeah, you're a hairdresser, right? Or a barber,
yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I do have a hairdresser license, so legally I am a hairdresser and a barber, I guess. But I work as a barber, and I'm opening a shop in Port Hawkesbury, which I'm looking forward to. And that's a really fun job. Like I love the daily interaction of that brings, and it's kind of a creative thing. You're helping people look good and feel good, and getting little 30-minute snippets of everyone's day.
Yeah,
it's a fun job.
There's that level of like, not to get sociological, but in I guess George Simmel's concept of the stranger, with like, there's you kind of serve as a confidant for a lot of people. That must be a really interesting kind of way to work. It's not a lot of jobs like that where someone will just come in and for 30 minutes just spill everything that's happening in their lives.
It's weird, honestly. Like, it's strange because you don't have like a therapist license, or whatever. I don't know if that's a thing, but like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not, but you are a therapist in some ways, in a lot of cases, because I mean, like, you build these relationships with people, but you never see them outside the barbershop a lot of the time, know? So it's like, it is a very interesting thing, and you hear a lot of really interesting stories. That's for sure. Because I mean, like, you sit down in the barber chair, you want to tell a story if you have that kind of relationship with your barber. So, yeah. Yeah,
you played in overseas recently, right?
Yep. Yeah, we were in London for Americana UK, and that was a lot of fun. We did a show over there at the Moth Club, which is a really cool place in Hackney, which I guess is like the east side of London, I think. But anyway, yeah, amazing time, wicked place. And we're going back overseas in August, which I'm really excited about. going
You'll
to Denmark.
also be taking off down to, is it Nashville opening for Crash Test Dummies?
We're doing Knoxville, which
Knoxville.
is close-ish to Nashville. Well, yeah, both in Tennessee, and Murfreesboro, which is also, I think that's close to Nashville, and then, yeah, a few in Pennsylvania, a couple shows in Virginia, I think, and yeah, we're getting on the road this summer, which is really nice.
Nice. And where can people find info if they want to check out these shows across the country?
My Instagram is great. Well, I don't know if it's great, but that's where I do most of my posting. But my website also has show dates on it. WillieStratton.com, at Willie Stratton on Instagram. Twitter I hardly ever use, but yeah, somewhere on the internet. If you Google me, I'm not too far away, I guess.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Sweet. Yeah, thanks so much for having me down, hanging out.
Sweet. Cool.